Chiang Rai is the northernmost city and province in Thailand, and this day trip from the city of Chiang Rai was really interesting, as we made 8 stops and experienced a wide variety of cultural sites. Our first stop was at the number one place I wanted to see on this tour, the White Temple, known as Wat Rong Khun. The exterior of this Buddhist temple is stunning. It truly is one of the great architectural wonders of the world. The temple opened in 1997 and was designed by local artist Chalamchai Kosipipat, who also paid for the building of the temple with his own money. The sparkling effect is achieved through a blend of white plaster and transparent mirrored chips or mirrored glass fragments. The white color represents purity and reflects the teachings and wisdom of Buddha. There are 3 stages for the visitor to go through at Wat Rong Khun. The first stage is the cycle of rebirth. This is achieved by crossing a small bridge flanked on both sides by skeletal hands which belong to those suffering in hell. The hands are warning visitors to run from their evil desires and worldly possessions in order to eventually attain an unsurpassed state of happiness. After your symbolic rebirth, you'll continue your journey through the gate of heaven, where you'll be greeted by 2 mythical creatures, Rahu and Death. This is where visitors are expected to clear their conscience of any wrongdoings in order to reach the next stage, heaven, which you achieve by going inside the Buddhist temple. On the inside of the temple, there are murals of orange flames and demons mixed in with Western culture icons, such as Michael Jackson, Harry Potter, Superman, and Freddy Krueger. Images of nuclear warfare, terrorist attacks, and oil pumps represent the destructive impact that humans have had on Earth. The overall message seems to be that people are evil and that there are many negative Western influences. The next stop was another stunning temple, the Blue Temple, known as Wat Rong Suea Ten, meaning House of the Dancing Tiger. This temple was completed in 2016 and was built by local artist Putta Kapku. The exterior features a white monk, Naga serpents guarding the entrance, blue mixed with gold trim on the sides of the temple, and a 20-meter high chiti in the rear of the temple. But it's the inside that, to me, is the main attraction. The Blue Temple is immediately recognizable for its brilliant shade of sapphire or indigo. The temple walls, roof, and surrounding statues are all blue, which is unusual in a country where most temples are made of gold. The blue color is symbolically associated with purity, wisdom, faith, and the lack of materialism that Buddhists aspire to. The white porcelain Buddha sits with one hand pointed to the ground, a representation of the moment he achieved enlightenment. Like most Thai temples, the walls depict stories of the life of Buddha. The wall around the doorframe is painted to be a representation of hell, and the doorway itself is the gaping mouth of a demon. We then traveled to the Baan Dam Museum, also known as the Black House, which is a private art museum utilizing a mixture of traditional Northern Thai buildings with unconventional and contemporary architecture. It was designed by Thai artist Tawan Ducheny, who started working on the buildings in 1976. The main building, known as the Cathedral, looks like a temple, but it's an art museum building completed in 2009 made of dark teak wood. The walls, floors, and ceilings of this building are covered with paintings, sculptures, installations, and furniture made almost entirely out of animal skins, bones, and horns. In fact, the Black House contains the world's largest collection of animal remains made into furniture and art installations. There are also large canvases painted in blood red. It is thought that all of Ducheny's work represents human suffering due to the desire and greed that the Buddha saw along his travels. Death and mortality are on display everywhere. The entire complex of 40 structures feels like it's part temple, part art museum, and part private home. Ducheny was a devout Buddhist, and it is likely that all of the work displayed at the Black House portrays the cycle of life, death, and rebirth, which includes suffering caused by human desire, represented by large phalluses in several of the houses. This is Long Neck Karen Village. It is known for the Karen, who are a tribal group with elongated necks. As you can see, not all the women who live here have elongated necks, but you're about to be in for a bit of culture shock. The Karen have historically lived in the hills of Myanmar, formerly Burma, which is on the other side of the Thai border. But thousands have had to flee Burma over the decades due to political unrest. The Karen women have a rich history of crafting, from wood carving to weaving. The Karen men are mostly field workers and farmers. The long-necked tribes live a simple lifestyle. This woman truly has an elongated neck, or does she? It may seem like the Karen women have unusually long necks, but their traditional heavy brass and gold rings, which can weigh up to 20 pounds, actually smash their shoulders and rib cages down, which makes their necks seem longer. Aside from protection against tiger bites, the biggest reason why the Karen women put themselves through the neck lengthening process is simply tradition. The rings are a symbol of wealth, position, and beauty. While there are some women that need to stick with the tradition and make money since they are refugees, there are some women who do it just to hold on to their heritage. I have to admit, I wasn't too excited about our next stop, which was the Choui Fong Tea Plantation. I'm not a big tea drinker, but we were given a tea-making demonstration and experienced some great views while we relaxed before heading to our next stop. Next, we visited the northernmost border of Thailand. It's bordered with Myanmar. Of course, taking a photo under the northernmost of Thailand sign is a must. It's always interesting when you visit one country to be able to see its border with another country. Crossing the border was not part of the tour, but we did have time to do some shopping on the Thailand side. Next up, what's better than being on the border of two countries? Being on the border of three countries. In this case, Thailand, Myanmar, and Laos. It's called the Golden Triangle. The village on the Thai side is known as Baan Dam Museum. It's centered where the Ruak and Mekong rivers meet. The name Golden Triangle has nothing to do with gold. The term was coined by Marshall Green, a U.S. State Department official, in a 1971 press conference on the opium trade. The Golden Triangle has been one of the largest opium-producing areas of the world since the 1950s. Most of the world's heroin came from the Golden Triangle until the early 21st century. Myanmar and Laos continue to be involved in opium and heroin production, but there is no more opium production in Thailand. The Golden Triangle highlight for me? The giant golden Buddha. And conveniently located nearby is our final stop, the House of Opium Museum, which was founded in 1990. The museum educates people about opium and the opium trade and shows the history of the Golden Triangle, the origins of opium and the opium wars, the drug smugglers, the effects of opium, the fight against opium and poppy growing, as well as the improvement of the living conditions of the people who live in the Golden Triangle.